Not required.
Well, Satan decided to make trouble for Israel. So he tempted David to have a census of people. So David could know how many fighting men there were and become proud of their military power as a young nation. So David called his commander, army commander Joab, and he said, I want you to take a census, the entire country, starting from Dan in the north, all the way down to Beersheba in the south. I want to know how many people I have. Well, Joab tried to talk David out of it, but David insisted. So Joab and the other army commanders started going throughout the whole country. They went to every town, every village. It took them almost 10 months to do the census. They came back and reported to David, you have almost 1.5 million men of fighting age. Well, right after that, David's conscience smote him, and he prayed to the Lord, oh Lord, I've sinned greatly. Please forgive this foolish thing that I've done. Well, the next morning, the Lord sent a prophet to David. And the prophet said, I have a word from the Lord for you. The Lord's giving you your choice of 3 punishments. You have to pick one of them. You can have 3 years of famine, or 3 months of running before your enemies, being defeated by your enemies, or 3 days of plague. David said, oh, what a horrible choice to have to make, to choose between those things. But I know that the Lord is merciful, and I would much rather fall into his hands than into the hands of men. So David picked 3 days of plague. So the Lord sent an angel to go throughout the country with the plague, and 70,000 Israelites died. David and some of the other elders were in Jerusalem. They were dressed in sackcloth. And David looked up and he saw the angel of the Lord between earth and heaven with his drawn sword in his hand stretched out over Jerusalem. David fell on his face and said, oh Lord, these people are not guilty. They just follow me like sheep. Punish me and my family, but let them go. The Lord heard David's prayer, and he relented, and he told the angel, stop. Well, when the angel stopped, or where he stopped, was right over a threshing floor that was owned by a man named Ornan. Ornan had 4 sons, and it was harvest time, so Ornan and his 4 sons were there threshing grain. And when they saw that angel, they ran for their lives. Then God spoke to David, and he said, I want you to build an altar and offer a sacrifice to me right there where that angel stopped. So David went to the threshing floor. Ornan saw him coming. He went and knelt before him, and David said, I want to buy your threshing floor. I'll pay you full price for it. I have to build an altar here to sacrifice to the Lord so we can stop this plague. Ornan said, oh, no. Just take it. Take the threshing floor. Use my animals for the sacrifice. Take my threshing instruments for the wood for the fire, and my grain for the peace offering. David said, no, I will pay full price for it. I will not offer sacrifices to the Lord that cost me nothing. So he and Ornan worked out a deal for the threshing floor, the animals, and the threshing instruments. And then David built his altar, had his sacrifice there, and the Lord saw what David did, and he told the angel, now you can put your sword back in its sheath. And the plague was stopped. Well, after that, David made an announcement that right there in that spot, he was going to build the house of the Lord, a temple to the Lord. And David was a man of action, so he hired stone cutters. He started collecting huge amounts of bronze and iron nails and cedar logs from Lebanon. And then he told his son Solomon, who would become king after him, when I die, I want you to build a house of the Lord right here.